back to the channel. It's your boy Omar. It's been a minute. I'm with one of my close comrade in pain. What's good, Josh?
How's it going, Omar? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're gonna get through this. Don't worry.
I'm tired. I'm tired
Brighter
of
pastures are on the horizon. Don't
yeah,
worry.
okay. I'll see it. When I see it, I believe it. So we lost again. Surprised? You surprised we lost?
Honestly, I thought we'd win today. Just because I thought, today could be Vogel's last straw if they lost against us. And I really wanted, I wasn't hoping he'd get fired. I was just hoping like we'd be the one to break them apart. But sadly, the second half didn't go the way we wanted. And that's been the tale this week, second halves.
Listen, the idea of Frank Vogel getting fired because of what LeBron and the front office did over the offseason is it doesn't make sense, and that's really bad management
They
to
need a
blame a head
scapegoat,
coach
They
because
need a
of the
scapegoat.
idiotic moves they did. It makes no sense. He shouldn't be fired for wanting to trade for a non-shooter to put around LeBron. I feel like they should have known by now. But yeah, we still can't beat them. I don't know how an off where we see all these other teams do whatever they want against the Lakers, and yet we still managed to find a cold stretch in the game. So that's like the first thing I wanted to hit on. It's the second straight game. We did it as well against Philly, but against Philly, it was more because Mo Bamba carried the offense, able to hit whatever he threw up towards the rim. This time around, it seemed like it was more sustainable. It wasn't a single player that was going out of his mind. It was more of a team effort. Bamba was playing decently well. Wendell Carter was playing decently well. Suggs, so on and so forth. But yet in the third quarter, the Lakers open up on a 9-0 run, I believe. They take the lead. They never look back. The Magic find themselves down 18. They don't do what they always do, trying to cut the lead, but it's a little too late, and they lose again. What do you see from the Magic that you think causes like their offense to completely break down?
Honestly, I feel like coming out of the second half, I think the Lakers just wanted it more. They wanted to win more. They upped their ball pressure, their defense. You know, what makes them good even without Anthony Davis at their best is when they know how to turn it up. And honestly, we had no answer for them. We had no answer for LeBron. We had no answer for Avery Bradley. The second he starts hitting his threes, it's game over. So they wanted to win more. We couldn't hit shots. Cole Anthony was off the entire game. Suggs had a great game, but he missed a lot of good 3-pointers he could have made. Wendell, for his game back, and I think almost 3 weeks, he played pretty well off the bench. Bamba played okay, but didn't do much in the second half, did most of what he did in the first half. And that's the problem. If you don't come out of the second half into the third quarter ready to continue playing, then you're going to lose. And we saw that against the Sixers. We saw that today. And the fact that they just took the lead back so quickly, it showed that the Magic ran out of gas. But it can't happen because with this young team, the morale will go down. And, Coach Mosley is going to have a tough time like getting these guys prepared. And it's a physical game, but it's also a mental game as well. You need to be able to look on the brighter days, even if you're still losing. And we know we're injured. We have an injury team right now where we're not playing people we usually play. Iggy Brazdakis touched the court today, so you knew the tank was on. But yeah, our mood going into the second half was not good because, as you can see, they thought we had an easy win, and coming out of the second half, they just looked horrible, and that's what happened.
Listen, for this team, there's no such thing as a damn easy win. All right, so let's get that out of the way first. I think the Magic went into this game really wanted to win this game regardless of the tank or whatever. Because I'll be damned if the Magic are taking on purpose again. But we saw in the first half they only went 8 deep. The only reason Brazdakis touched the floor was because Ross hamstring injury. I'm guessing it timed up, so that's the reason he couldn't go on that.
Carter
But
Jr. was on a
regardless,
minute restriction too.
yeah, but regardless, that's not the Magic starting group gave up the lead
Mm-hmm.
in quick fashion. And I think this is where we could talk about the triangle of Wendell Carter, Mo Bamba, Cole Anthony. It's because a lot of people wanted to put this on Bamba, but there has to be an understanding that Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba are not the same player.
Mhm.
Mo Bamba hasn't had the time, and again, you can call me making excuses, whatever you want. Mo Bamba has not had the time to build up his body as all these other people have. He spent every offseason and every waking moment to start his career rehabbing, whether it was through COVID, whether it was through injury, regardless, he's been rehabbing. He just had his first healthy offseason, and we've seen the jump. His timing's a lot better. His reactions are better. He's being more consistent offensively. His positioning is better defensively. I'm willing to give him another offseason to just build up his body to catch up to his reaction time, his positioning. And then you can say whatever you want. But at this moment, I can't put blame on Bamba because he's not someone like Wendell Carter who's able to almost sort of mimic what the Magic did with Vooch, where you give him the ball in the mid post and let him create, whether it be passing. Because, and then if you look on the flip, like Cole Anthony, who struggled all night, and once you're primary ball handler, because Jalen Suggs doesn't have this skill yet, the ability, and this is why we desperately miss Markelle Fultz. Jalen Suggs doesn't have it yet. Cole Anthony has it to a lesser degree than Markelle, but still has it slightly where you can create an offense. But when Cole Anthony's a score first guard and you're not able to score, and the defense adapts to that, and Mo Bamba is more of a weapon than someone who initiates the offense, that weapon goes away because we saw this in the second half against Philly where you weren't able to get Bamba the ball, even though him and Chuma were the only two guys that were consistent offensively. And yet this is still Bamba's fault when you're not able to get on the ball and move the offense. And again, I'm sure Cole is going to be fine. This has nothing to do with me trashing Cole Anthony. But it's clear that if once Cole Anthony isn't able to get things going offensively and the defense breaks down and the offense stagnates, that's where the Magic get in trouble. Jalen Suggs still has to develop that because he's developing before our eyes an individual offensive game where he can push and transition and find the people that way. But to initiate an offense, he doesn't have that yet. And that affects Mo Bamba when he's not, and he hasn't developed that skill yet to initiate an offense. He'll get it eventually, I'm sure, because he's very talented. But that's right. What have you seen out of those three?
I feel like also I'll just start off with Cole Anthony because like you're right, I agree. It's just a little small phase. He is in his second year. He's gonna get through this. He's gonna get back to the way he was shooting. He's gonna become more efficient. He's gonna become that score first point guard that you were talking about. It just sucks that it's happening right now. But I believe Cole's gonna get it together. He's shown us what he can do. So I have no reason to lose faith in him now. So Cole's gonna be okay. But you're right. If Cole doesn't have it going, then certain players on this team, especially Mo, are gonna have a hard time because Cole isn't the best dribbler in my opinion. He can play make, but I don't think he's a great dribbler. So when he's trying to dribble too much and then Mo setting the screen, sometimes he gets out of control. And I feel like, for example, DeAndre Ayton has developed the way he has because he's playing with a point guard like Chris Paul, someone who's a floor general, someone who can set up the offense. Now, granted, it's on Ayton to make his shots when Chris Paul finds him. But the fact that DeAndre Ayton has had that time with Chris Paul to develop together. Mo Bamba hasn't really had that time because, like you mentioned, this was his first healthy offseason. He hasn't, all the point guards he's played with have either been traded or they haven't developed the way you would have wanted them to. Cole Anthony is the first guard he's getting a chance to develop with. Markelle in his first year, which was Bamba's second year. Bamba came off the bench, but Markelle started. So they didn't really have some time to get chemistry together, create that duo that we kind of hope to see. So that's why, again, like you said, we need Markelle Fultz. That's what he does. Because Markelle is that floor general, even if he's not scoring. We know we're not going to see the 3-point shot fall down right away. But him just attacking the rim, how he finds other players. He has a little flashiness to his passes too. I don't know if you see that sometimes, but he has that within him. Again, it's just on whoever he's passing it to make their shots. But for the most part, Markel is just able to find people wide open. He has the potential to be that great floor general. And it's going to help someone like Mo Bamba, because right now Mo doesn't really have a post game. He relies on pick and rolls, jump shots, 3-point shots to really find his method of scoring. So he's not one who's going to put the ball in the paint and somehow score around his defender. It's just not going to be like that. Maybe you see that once every 2 games, but on a consistent basis, that's not how he really scores, which is how I'm sure one day he's going to get it. And like you said, I'm willing to give him another off season because he really has taken that next step. I've been discouraged at times because sometimes it seems like he doesn't have the motor. Like he doesn't have that want in him to become great, because at the beginning of the season, especially in the preseason, you could see like he wanted it. He wasn't making those small mistakes anymore. He wasn't like unnecessarily fouling someone, like say a small push from behind, even if they're in front of him, because at that point you might as well just let them score. Don't give them the N1. He was being more disciplined on defense. He wasn't jumping as much. But then as the season progressed, like he was kind of falling into those old habits. But then there's been games recently, especially the game against the Sixers, where he shows his potential. Again, I don't think we're ever going to expect him to average 30, but like him to average around 15, that became more, you could really see that happening. And I want him to continue to develop with us. Again, I want him to have a chance on this team because, again, he needs to play with Jonathan Isaac and Markelle Fultz. At one point, they were going to be the defensive duo for this team. Sadly, we just never got to see that much because Jonathan Isaac's been injured a lot. I want to see him develop chemistry with Markelle Fultz in the pick and roll. I don't know if you remember Markelle's debut with the Magic against the Cavs, but one of the first plays they ever played together was a pick and roll, and Markelle lobbed it to Bamba just like that. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, they have this potential to become this duo now. Sadly, we haven't seen them play much together since then. But then Wendell comes in, and if he improves that 3-point shot, he's going to be the starting center of this future of this team, without a doubt. If he consistently can hit that 3-point shot around 35%, then that position's his because he can already do so much. And I don't say that as a diss to Bamba. It's just the fact that Wendell is already there. He has the post game. He's already great on defense against great centers. He's not doing it against Dwight Powell or Kristaps Porzingis or no, I'm sorry.
Okay, but okay.
I'm sorry. But that's the thing. He's doing it against like people like Jokic, Embiid, and that's what we want to see. So I mean, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from Wendell. I'm happy Bamba's just gotten better this season. Cole is going to figure it out. But the thing is, if Cole doesn't have it together, especially Franz, this team's going to have a hard time winning games.
Yeah, and I agree with your Marco point a lot. It's not about his offense. It's that skill to be able to control a game, slow a game down, speed a game up, control. And that's just not something Suggs or Cole Anthony has mastered yet. So that creates the problem. And yeah, I agree, because we've seen Bamba. I said before the second half started, I don't care if Bamba goes scoreless. I just want to see him stay disciplined and make the right play. And that's what he did. There were a lot of times where they closed on him and he drove and he passed it to the open man in a great feed on the drive. And that was but no one mentioned that. It was the fact that he fouled out on Embiid. And he did people want to nitpick Mo Bamba, but again, one healthy offseason, hasn't had the chance to develop his body the way other young centers have. And I'm willing to give him the chance to wait because we see it also. The post game is coming very, very slowly, but it is coming. And I just want to give him the time. We will see a better Mo Bamba with a guy like Markelle Fultz, who's able to control a game and initiate an offense.
And the last thing you want is, because I mean, obviously we hear the trade rumors. The last thing you want to do is trade Bamba for nothing. If you're just hell bent on trading him and the best you can do is a second round pick, you might as well keep the guy. Don't give him away for nothing.
I see another Oladipo situation brewing, and I'm going to be very, very upset.
Bro, don't count me. Bringing up Oladipo.
Mo Bamba still has the higher ceiling than Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter is great.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter has already shown what he can do on his worst day.
Mhm.
I'm still willing to give Bamba more of a fair opportunity to get another offseason and to build his body up to see what that ceiling truly looks like. We've seen him when his offensive game is clicking. Again, people ignored all of the bad stuff because he made shots. Doesn't mean the mistakes were there. And again, he still has a little here and there where he takes a bad foul, gets an easy and one, but it's less and less and less.
It's less, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was just my little what I've seen out of Cole, Wendell, and Mo Bamba. I just didn't think it was really fair to pin it on Mo.
Mhm.
But okay, so the Magic recently extended John Hammond and Jeff Weltman. And I said that they deserve the extension and that we should put our trust in them. However, there were a lot of people that thought I was insane and that they didn't deserve and they haven't done anything. What do you think? Do you think they deserve the extension?
Yeah, they totally deserved it. Look, when they first came on, they had to deal with so many bad contracts. And being a fan of the NBA, this. Like, it's not easy to get rid of those big contracts.
I don't know
You
how
can't
we got off Biombo's contract.
you can't just trade them and magically have it disappear. No team is going to take on a bad contract. Look what's happening with Westbrook, for example. So the fact that this is going to be the first offseason where we have like ton of cap room, it would have been great if we had a healthy team and there was a star, this free agent, kind of like with the Nets and what happened there. And then, a team just saw, oh, like this team's on the rise. But then again, we don't need a big time free agent, but still, like it would have been cool to hope. But Jeff and John have just we got Markelle Fultz for a second round pick, basically. We at the time, Jonathan Simmons would have been a good player to their bench, which sadly didn't work out for them. But the fact that we got Markelle for like a second round pick and Jonathan Simmons was an absolute steal. On a bad day, Markelle can put up what? 12 points, 6 assists.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. So the fact that we got a first overall pick, that was a steal. I was hoping that trade would happen, and minutes before the deadline, they made it happen, and I was one happy guy. So they made that happen. The Bamba draft pick was the right draft pick to make.
Exactly. At the time, it was a consensus that they made the right pick.
Exactly. Jonathan Isaac,
Chuma Okeke, Cole Anthony,
Suggs.
Franz.
They've never made a bad move. So
again, their criticism is the one criticism they have is that they don't deal with their second round picks the right way. And I agree. They could do a better
or they
job.
don't really share information. We can put that in there too.
Oh, it's fine.
But then again, that's not really in their contract. So I guess we can give them that. But they've done nothing but good things since come to Orlando. We made the playoffs twice in this rebuild era, if you want to call it that, with them at the helm. So I have nothing but faith in them. They've only made good decisions, and I hope they're here for years to come.
Yeah, I agree. So, near the end of January and the start of February, you know what time it is.
No. Don't go there, bro. Don't go there.
Trade. I refuse to go into tankathon. I refuse to do so.
I refuse to as well.
So the trade deadline's approaching very quickly.
Yeah.
Who are your targets that you think the Magic are looking to move?
Who they're looking to move or acquire?
Move.
I think without a doubt, one of Gary Harris or T. Ross is gone. I think you'll keep one of them just for the sole sake of like you'd probably need like a good shooting veteran. Like, can you really count on Etuan Moore? I'd like to see him, but the sad thing is we just haven't. I feel like one of them has to stay, Gary or Ross, but for sure both of them are being shipped. It's just who will give you the most in return. I think, again, I hope not, but I feel like they are going to look at trades for Bamba just to see what his trade market's like, his value, his market value. Again, I don't really see them shopping anybody else, I would have said Okiki and Hampton, but Okiki's finally, becoming that player we saw last year. I mean, he's getting there again. So I like that. If he can continue to develop, he can be part of this young core, be a big piece off the bench. And RJ Hampton, you know me, I'm not the biggest RJ Hampton fan. I think they'll look again. I just think they'll see what his market value is like. But I think Gary Harris and T. Ross are both being shipped right now, or shopped.
I think for me, I agree. I think one of Gary Harris or Terrence Ross is likely gone by the deadline. I think the Magic also having discussions with Gary Harris of what a deal might look like over the summer to have him stay here long term. Because Gary Harris isn't all that old. He's still pretty around entering his prime or in the middle of it, or in his prime right now. He's a good defender. Has shown recently he can shoot the ball. He's a good veteran presence. He's seen what Ariba looks like in Denver. So and then maybe definitely a team that's trying to win a championship will look at a guy like Terrence Ross. So I'm more likely looking. I think Terrence Ross will more likely be gone. I think maybe depending on what the injuries look like, maybe someone takes a shot on Rolo. But for Hampton that you said, I'm a believer in RJ Hampton. I still think he has.
I have nothing against the guy. Okay, I got nothing against the guy. I've just always thought he can't do one thing extremely well. He'll do good things in different areas, but it's never good enough to where it contributes to winning, or like he only has really good scoring games and blowout losses. Other times he'll just make good defensive he'll make good defensive plays, but he just doesn't do anything good consistently well. That's the one thing I have against RJ.
Well, maybe it's because his role has been consistent.
Maybe
like I said from the start, RJ Hampton is not a point guard, and yet he's still playing the point guard position.
He's played the shooting guard position.
He's played point guard, and it doesn't go well. Can't wait to have Kel back so he can play.
What about his open 3-point shots? What about those? What about the open jump shots?
Apparently, the reason you're watching Naruto is because RJ Hampton has been able to hit those open 3-point shots.
He barely passed it, all right? He barely passed that percentage.
Yes, and the percentage was above 36%. Anyways, Mosley.
Oh, sweet.
Jamal Mosley, I think we've seen the energy that he brings was clearly there. Like, we've seen the difference of when Mosley's not there. Guys just seem to have bad body language, frustration, because frustration is definitely going to build up eventually with this young team and then with the amount of losses. I just really hope once the team gets healthy, you can really see the team start winning games and the frustration starts to go away and start building up winning habits. At this midpoint of the year, what do you think of Jamal Mosley?
I'd be lying if there weren't times where I thought we should have gone with Wes Unseld Jr. I'm not gonna lie, there have been those moments. But one thing I gotta give Mosley credit for is that he's gotten everyone engaged. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was his idea to have the bell inside the practice facility. Every time a big play happens, they get to ring the bell, which gets the energy going and everything. But you can tell the players love playing for him. That's one thing you can always tell. You never have to doubt that. They always bring it to 100%, especially for Mosley. When we're down and it seems okay, granted, there have been those blowout games, but most of the time when we're down, we fight back, regardless if we win or lose. Again, our record doesn't really show everything we've done in the games, and only Magic fans who watch the games would know what Mosley has really done for this team.
Oh man!
But, again, only Magic fans who watch the games feel the pain we do. But again, Mosley has just built this great culture within this team. I gotta give him credit for that. But man, I'd be lying if his rotations didn't piss me off. I get there's injuries. I get you can only play certain players because of COVID and injuries, but my goodness, sometimes when I see Iggy Brasdeikis in the game, Like, what's he doing? No, like he literally is in the game to hold the ball himself and to not even pass it to the point guard. He'll wave them off and he'll go do his own thing. Now, granted, I know he tries to make his mark when he's in the game, and I'm not judging him for that because
Oh
anyone
man.
who would try to make the most of the opportunity they get. But man, like sometimes I just can't stand seeing him play. And then Mo Wagner, he plays good, but honestly, he's mostly there to get under people's skins. And honestly, sometimes he gets under my skins because he wants every single foul. Even if there's no foul, he'll cry for a foul, and that actually pisses me off. I'm a Magic fan, but again, sometimes his rotation's just off. But I gotta wait to see Markel and J.I. come back because then only we'll really see what he can do with his healthy team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna hold them accountable for lineups yet until I see a fully healthy team because you can do so much. Again, there was things I would prefer to see certain players closer in games, whether it be to stagger Suggs and Colmore. But when it comes to lineups, I can't really hold him accountable because I think he has a plan and he can't put the plan in action when you don't have the pieces to the plan.
Mhm.
But the idea of players wanting to play for head coach is very important, and it's clear that he has that. So same thing I've said with some of these young guys. Mosley still got it. I'm willing to wait on Mose. I hope it works out. We will see. All right, so yeah, since we suck and there's very, very little positives, let's end on a positive note. Our rookies have played extremely well as of late. Franz
Mhm.
Wagner today against the Los Angeles Lakers received his Rookie of the Month award. Much deserved.
I didn't even see that. Wow, that's great.
Yes, he did it right before the game in front of all of the Los Angeles Lakers fans.
I gotta
No
find a
one in
video of that now.
attendance. Um, Jalen Suggs coming back from his injury, he looks to have like that different aura around him, the same way Cole did when he came back from his rib injury in the prior season. What have you seen
Yeah.
and as of late from the two rookies? Because for me, Suggs, his defense is still there, but I like the idea of him pushing the ball every single time he goes, rushing this team because the Magic off half court offense isn't good, clearly. But
That's
the
why he
idea
gets us up so fast.
pushing the ball up the floor, and
Mhm.
that's when he's at his best as of right now.
Yeah.
He started to knock down that mid range with a lot of more consistency. They did
Mhm.
when he first went out. Franz Wagner. I don't understand why we don't run the offense more through Franz Wagner. What have you seen? I don't know.
I think Suggs. He needs to slow down. He sometimes he's going to the rim and he has no idea what he's doing. He'll end up just committing the turnover. And I get he's in his rookie year. He's gonna learn. But I think he just needs to slow down himself. Because if you're going to the rim and you have no idea what you're doing and you're not planning to finish at the rim, then you're gonna get into trouble. You're gonna get into turnover trouble. And that's just gonna get more points for the other team. So he needs to slow down. Again, like you said, that mid-range jump shot has really improved. You can tell the difference. But you're right, he is in his best when he's pushing the offense fast. I'm just like, I just don't want him to get into the mindset that means he always needs to drive it to the rim, because I don't want him to get out of control. He already puts his body out there all the time, and I'm so scared he's gonna get himself injured. Like when he had that hard fall,
I
today
see
I got so scared, and I'm like, please God, no.
I see a
But
lot of like young John Wall in that.
yeah, and that's a really good thing. But it's clear he has improved. The time off really slowed down the game for him. So I'm just hoping that's what he does now. He himself slows down because he's gonna be okay. We've seen the potential. He's showing us it right now. I'm really happy for him. And yeah, just continue to slow down and let the ball let the game come to you, and just maybe a higher arc on that 3-point shot. But yeah, I'm really loving what I'm seeing from Suggs right now. From Franz, what more can I say? At the very least, he's always gonna put up around 13, 15 points. He uses his length almost like Giannis. He doesn't dunk it like Giannis, but he uses his length to finish around the rim, and that's a gift because you don't see many people doing that. I'm extremely happy with his progress, and You know, we were winners from this draft class, and I'm really happy with the players we got.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's gonna wrap it up here. Not as long as before. It's just all stringing along. We can only see, but there will be a lot more as the line gets closer, as guys come back. Maybe if they ever come back, I don't know.
The next time we
Markel,
talk, Markel will be back. All right. The next time we talk, Markel will be back.
he better be. That's gonna do it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.